as no bad mouths, bad wishers or enemies will be jubilating from this news. The Acholi mothers down in the village will be also celebrating and saying, no bad mouth survived a possible death. They believe locally that taking that big position for the Acholi people can lead to your death. In a striking display of synchronized political messaging and a broader defense of the establishment, Chief of Defense Forces General Muhoozi has taken to X, formerly Twitter, to publicly dissuade Democratic Party President Nobad Mao from contesting for Speaker of Parliament. This move comes just one day after his father, President Museveni, delivered a similar message from the ruling NRM party retreat in Chankwanzi. The general's social media activity this afternoon painted a picture of a man reaffirming his lineage, dismissing historical comparisons, and touting administrative access before finally delivering the political blow to his big brother. Before wading into parliamentary politics, the Chief of Defense Forces first turned his attention to the state of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, MODVA. In a post that has been viewed over 7,600 times, General Muhoozi claimed significant progress in the fight against graft within his dock. There is corruption in our country, but I can assure all of you that in the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, MODVA, it has reduced by 85% since we took command. In a separate, more cryptic thread, the general addressed recent criticism or media comparisons linking him to former dictator Idi Amin Dada. Rather than express outrage, Kainerugaba offered a sardonic thank you, weaving a narrative of redemption and divine victory that tied the Amin family's current political alignment to the broader NRM fold. I've heard some people trying to equate me with Idi Amin. All I can say to that is thank you. He wanted to kill all of us in the 1970s, but today his family are the greatest supporters. In the end, Jesus Christ wins. Doubling down on his identity within the region's power structure, General Kainerugaba also reiterated his close ties to Rwandan President Paul Kagame and his own father. He described himself as a product of the Muhoozi legacy, a reference to the ancient mythical Muhoozi dynasty, having been invoked in the context of the region's leadership. I am a loyal son and nephew. Museveni is my great father. He managed to produce a fellow Muhoozi. President Kagame is my uncle. In a post that ends at a response to a specific critical publication or open letter, General Kainerugaba questioned the moral authority of those now speaking out, suggesting they have been absent from the national conversation for a quarter of a century. I read an article by an old friend of mine entitled The Judgment of the Silent. I would ask that friend of mine, where has he been for the last 25 years before he judges us? Please listen to your younger brother. Finally, the younger Kainerugaba pivoted to the matter of parliamentary leadership. In a post that has garnered over 37,000 views and 1,400 likes, he addressed Mao directly with a mix of respect and an unmistakable firm directive. I respectfully request my big brother, Ladir Nobad Mao, to not run for Speaker of Parliament. Please listen to your younger brother. We can get better positions. The carefully worded but firm message leaves little room for interpretation. Coming on the heels of President Museveni's Chankwanzi pronouncement, it signals a consolidated first family position that the Speaker's chair currently occupied by Anita Among is not up for negotiations. Political observers note that this public rejection, while dressed in the language of fraternal council merely formalizes what has been an open secret within Uganda's political corridors. Mao, who signed a controversial cooperation agreement with the NRM in 2022 that effectively neutralized the Democratic Party as an opposition force, had been widely expected to be rewarded with a significant government position. The speakership was viewed by many as his supporters as the promised prize. Instead, the blunt message from both Museveni and his son confirms what insiders have long whispered. Netanyahu's grip on the Speaker's office is fortified by connections and political capital so substantial that even the presidency thinks twice before crossing her. One veteran political analyst speaking on condition of anonymity put it sharply. Netanyahu is so deeply entrenched that she could credibly challenge Museveni himself for the presidency. Mao never stood a chance against that machinery. For Mao, the humiliation is compounded by the platform chosen for the message. Moses' use of X, his preferred medium for unfiltered political pronouncements, transforms what could have been a private conversation into a public spectacle. The Acholi leader now faces an impossible choice: persist in a bid that has been voted by the first family, or retreat and absorb the political damage of having his ambitions so publicly curtailed. The earlier Mao accepts this political reality, analysts suggest that more dignity he can salvage, not just for himself, but for the Acholi people who have invested hope in his national political ascent. Another humiliating retreat would add to a growing narrative of heartbreak for a region that has repeatedly seen its political aspirations deferred. As the dust settles on this coordinated father-son intervention, one thing is clear: in the calculus of Ugandan power, some chairs are simply not for sitting, no matter how long you are waited for your turn. And this just confirms one thing: Anita Mong's statement, "Don't cross the bedroom," seems she's right that the speakership is the bedroom.